Piano and Drums by Gabriel Okara. When at break of day at a riverside, I hear jungle drums telegraphing the mystic drum, urgent raw like bleeding flesh. So what happens is that the poet goes to a riverside and he hears the sound of a mystic drum which reminds him of the ancient African culture and the richness, the rawness of his culture. Speaking of primal youth and the beginning, I see the panther ready to pounce. He sees a black panther who is ready to strike and hunt. The leopard snarling about to leap. The leopard is snarling. Leap means to jump. The leopard wants to jump on his prey. And the hunters crouch with spears poised. He sees the African hunters, the tribal culture, his originality, and the hunters are ready with their spears pointed and they are ready to hunt. And my blood ripples turns torrent. His blood runs fast. The years at once I am in my mother's lap as suckling. So he feels like that he's in my mother's lap. He goes back to his time and feels like he's in his mother's arms. At once I'm walking simple paths with no innovations, rugged fashions with a naked warmth of hurrying feet and groping hearts in green leaves and wildflowers pulsing. So he walks his path, he sees a path in which is less walked by, and just like the road not taken, he takes a path and then he finds himself in a position in which then I hear a wailing piano. He hears the sound of a wailing piano. Solo speaking of complex works, the piano represents the Western civilization and the complexities and the sophisticatedness of the Western civilization in tear-furrowed concerto. Of faraway lands and new horizons with coaxing diminuendo, counterpoint crescendo. So the piano represents the new horizons. It tells of the distant lands and new horizons and the complexities. But lost in the labyrinth of all these complexities, it ends in the middle of the phrase at dagger points. So he gets confused in all those conflicts between the Western civilization represented by the piano and the African civilization and African culture represented by the mystic drum, and he finds himself in a dilemma. And I lost in the morning mist of an age at a riverside, keep wandering in the mystic drum of a jungle drum and the concerto. So he gets lost, he sees a mist and he gets lost. He gets lost in the conflict between where he belongs. We can see the sense of loss of identity of the poet. He doesn't know where he truly belongs, whether he is from Africa or he belongs to the Western civilization. We can see the cultural clash, which is a very important theme in this poem. So he gets lost in the conflict between the two cultures, the African civilization and the Western civilization. African civilization represented by the drums, which shows the ancient richness and culture and rawness of the Africans, and the Western civilization represented by the piano, which is very sophisticated yet lacks deep meaning. So that was the poem Piano and Drums by Gabriel Okara. I hope it's easy to understand. Thank you so much for watching.